Hey, Mark Lambert here with Sweet Spot of Mine Distributing, here with another red box instructional video. We've got some beautiful Compart Duroc spare ribs laid out here, and I want to show you guys essentially a test run of how this works. I've cooked ribs 100 times in the red box, and we won world championship at Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo cooking chicken and ribs on the red box. And it's a great little cooker. It's designed really to cook a 10-bone slab of ribs. Typical slab of ribs has 13 bones. It's a little big. The red box rack's 11.5 by 10.5. 10 bones fit perfect. If you want to know how many slabs fit, 6 slabs, 10 bone slabs, fit on the red box. If you cut them in half, you can fit 6 halves on there. So do the math. We're not going to do a lot to these today. I'm going to give you a timeline of how long it took to light the charcoal. We're going to use B&B Charlogs today. Let you know how long that took. We're going to put it in the cooker and we're going to graph it so you'll be able to see time along with temperature, how long it takes to come up to temperature and how long it cooks. And then I'll give you, along the way, we're not going to wrap these ribs. We're not going to do anything fancy to them. We're not going to pull the membrane. All we're going to do is cut them down to make them fit in the cooker. We're going to season them, and we're going to use Guns N' Roses. Kim LeBlanc in Gonzales, Louisiana makes Guns N' Roses. We're a proud seller of LeBlanc seasonings, Creole seasonings. But his Guns N' Roses is my favorite. He also makes a competition rub. And he makes a regular barbecue rub that has a little more salt in it. This one, in my opinion, is one of the best rubs to put on a slab of ribs. Just one rub, nothing else. These are awesome. One of my favorite eating ribs was straight Guns N' Roses. So, what we're going to do is we're going to cut these down to 10 bones. Not going to do a lot to them. So what I'm going to do is on the big end, which is this end, and that's the short bone end. It's the wider end usually, but it's the shorter bones. I'm going to take it down to about the 3rd bone where the bone starts getting a little longer. I'm going to take just one bone off of this little short end, this little short fat squatty bone. I'm just going to take one off of there. So I'm just going to take my Gunter Wilhelm knife here. I'm going to cut and I'm not going to throw these out. I'm going to put them in the cooker as well. They'll get done early and it's a good snack. So I'm going to count now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's my 10th bone, and that leaves 2 little nubbies on the end that I'm going to take off. Those 2 right there. So I'm going to go and cut a straight cut, and there is my 10 bone slab. Now I can straighten this up. You can see looks kind of trapezoidal maybe. For a St. Louis cut, this is a St. Louis cut, but it has a little bit more of the breastplate right here. So if I was going to do a competition cut, I would just take this longest bone here and I would square this off. And why don't we do it anyway? I'll do one of them, or why not do both of them? The bones, you can see, follow the membrane. The membrane is here. So that's where the bone is. The rest of this is breastplate. And we're going to leave a little of that on there. So what we're going to do is we're going to straighten it up. And I'm going to start over here at my longest bone, which is usually about this 4th bone in. And I'm just going to make a straight cut. And I'm going to cut more off one end than the other because of the shape of it. And that's the idea. It's just straighten it up. And then I've got that little rib tip left on there. And we'll eat that as well. So what we're left with is our typical red box competition slab of ribs. We'll do this one too. Why not? It's not all a competition video, but we're going to show you if you needed to cut them down. This one doesn't have near as much, as you can tell, where all of this follows the bone. This is the only cartilage part, so there's very little on this one, very little to take off. I'm just going to straighten it up a little is all I got to do. So really, that's all that came off of that one. As you can see, we're at bone right here. These are a little bit larger. I'm just going to square up this meat on the other side. Do I need to do it on this one? Not really. One little tiny tag in. And there you go. There is a membrane. We're just going to leave it. These are eating ribs. I'm not going to take any of this other stuff off. Remember, we're going to go over here and take this one outside bone off the small end. And then we're going to go back over here. 10 bones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 bones. Cut that dude off right there. So there is our snack pile, and there is our dinner pile. 2 slabs. One bone's a little longer than the other. Not that big a deal. If I was doing a competition, then I would just put these on the bottom and these on the top. It would work out really good. But as you can tell, the bones are nice and straight. A lot of marbling. If I pull this membrane off, you'd see there's tons of marbling between the bones. So all we're going to do, even though I've gummed it up a little bit, I'm not going to do it any worse. Let's flip them over. Even though the membrane's on there, we're going to put a little bit of rub on the back. And we're not going to put them on super heavy like competition. We're just going to put a dust, especially on this back side because there's a membrane. A little bit on the back. Bam, done. Now then, we're going to put a little bit more of a heavy coat on the top side. It's going to make a nice bark. Guns N' Roses has a lot of brightness to it. It's really bright and spicy. What the closest thing I can tell you equate it to is smoking guns hot, if you've ever used that. That's a pretty standard rub in competition. But it's a little brighter in flavor, I think. And the heat is maybe not quite as long lasting. That's it. So right now you can see these slabs are pretty close to the same size. We're letting our charcoal heat up. We'll give you the timing on that. We'll put it in the cooker and we'll start it up with the Flame Boss so you can see the timing of that. We can take some screenshots and let you see the timetable, how it's working. Flame Boss or Barbecue Guru is not 100% necessity on the Red Box. However, it allows you to cook at higher temperatures for a long period of time due to better regulation of airflow. I'm expecting these are going to take about 4 hours. We're going to cook somewhere in the neighborhood of 250. It may take 4.5, who knows. We're just going to follow it. You'll get to see a real timeline of what these are going to cook like. And these are your typical, I'm going to say, almost 3 pounds and down spare rib. And by the time they're trimmed up, they're 2.5, somewhere in there. So, Red Box video on ribs. I've had a few of you guys ask, how do I cook ribs in the Red Box? This is how I cook them for me. Not for competition, but for me. That's the way I like to eat them. These are going to be awesome. So, stay tuned. Like our YouTube channel if you haven't already. That'll help you stay accustomed to new updates whenever new Red Box videos are coming out. And we're going to do videos on all different types of cookers, seasonings, techniques, Asian food. We're going to make all kinds of stuff. So thank y'all for watching. Alright, so our Red Box is running right along. It's actually overshot. A full chimney of B&B Charlogs is quite a bit. I don't care. It's not a big deal. These are eating ribs. I'm giving you a synopsis. Telling you everything I did so that you can repeat it or at least know what you need to do to slow it down or speed it up. So it's not rocket science in your backyard. In competition, yeah, we're going to do things specifically the way we've done it that's repeatable. But these are going to be eating ribs, and you're going to see how we do them, and they're really, really, really good. So in the Red Box, we're going to turn around. I want to make sure you can see this. 10 bones, slide right in there, and they come pretty close to touching that door. No big deal. I'm going to grab the other slab, 10 bones, right next to them. There we go. One's just a touch longer than the other. No big deal. They're going to shrink up just a little bit as well. So I'm not worried as much about that. You can hear my fan kicking back on. I'm running the Flame Boss so that you guys can see the timeline and the graph really is the main reason. With all these Charlogs, I don't need any extra air, any extra heat. So, and a whole chimney full of B&B Charlogs is going to last way more than a rib cook. But you'll get to see, get an idea how much is left over, how long they take. I want you guys to have a starting point. Cool. All right, we're going to start our wood, our smoking time, with, I'm going to say 4 decent sized little pieces of rockwood hickory and 3 small pieces of rockwood apple. And we're just going to find us a spot. If you've got a set of tongs, use them. It makes it easy. I got these little tongs from the beefer guys, and I'm just going to find me a way to wedge them in there. I've got it awfully full with these this B&B Charlogs, but I'm just going to find a way to stick them in there. It don't have to be even or anything. These aren't heat, these are just smoke. So we're going to push these back a little at a time, one at a time. And the last one. and they're going to start putting off some really good smoke. Apple and hickory is my favorite combination, backyard or competition. It does not matter. Use your favorite wood, what you've got. As long as it's dry wood, you can use pecan, oak, hickory, maple, cherry, apple, hickory. It does not matter. Do what you like. This is just what I like. Any of you guys that want a little bit more capacity out of your red box, load it up just like this with B&B Charlogs, because the temperature is climbing. No big deal. They'll get done early. You'll see they're going to be fine. If you want to maintain 250, lower it down just a little bit. You know, you can hear the fans not even running. But if you want a little more capacity, the guys at PK Grills make this awesome little 4-stage rib rack, and it fits in the red box perfect. You put this in there, you can run 8 10-bone slabs at one time. It's pretty darn awesome. All right, if your ribs dry out a little bit on top, no big deal. Get yourself a little spray bottle. This is nothing but a little bit of water and some red grenadine. If you want to use apple juice, use apple juice. It doesn't really matter. Just something to wet the top of the ribs, and a little grenadine just for the color. And all I'm gonna do is come in here, getting a little dry on top, no big deal. But the grenadine helps with the color. The water helps set the bark and keeps it from over caramelizing. That's it. All right, our ribs are done off the red box. 5 hours. We put them on lib 15. It is now 4:20. We didn't pull any membrane off, so they're going to hold a little bit more, but as you can see, they're bending nicely. And if you did a little tear test, they're just tearing straight from the bone nicely. So these aren't competition cooked, but they're going to tear apart. I'll show you here in just a second. These are eating ribs. Now you could take these are straight out of the cooker, haven't done a thing to them, and here are our little cutoffs. We talked about the rib tips. There are our little rib tips right there. There's one of our little ends right there. Those are the little cutoffs. That's what we cut off of the slab to make it a 10-bone red box slab of ribs. I'm gonna slide this back in there. I need to get rid of that one too. So, without further ado, there's the back of the slab of ribs. There's the back of the slab of ribs of the smaller one. No blowouts, anything. We've got nice little bend there, even though we've got the membrane on. That's kind of what's keeping all that together. But what you're going to see, look at that. They pulled apart nice. Man, they smell wonderful. Look at this bigger slab. This bigger slab. Wonderful. They're going to be nice ribs, I'm telling you. Let's see about this one of these here. Let me just peel one of these off. Look at that. Peel one rib off of that. Perfect little bite. That Guns N' Roses, all by itself, is a perfect backyard rib. And to me, with no sauce, this is the way I want it. You can add a light glaze of sauce, and if I was going to do anything for me, it'd be a splash of vinegar sauce, and that's it. Personally, this is the way I like it. I could even eat these cold. You'll enjoy them. Try these red box ribs at home. 5 hours, 250 degrees. One load of B&B Charlogs, which is just one full lit B&B Charlog chimney. One dust of LeBlanc's Guns N' Roses, available at Sweet Swine of Mine Distributing. With a little bit of apple, a little bit of hickory wood. Put them on there. We sprayed them every so often with a little water with a little grenadine. Kind of help that mahogany color. Look at those. Those are some beautiful eating ribs right there. So, y'all give it a shot. I've got you a video up that shows you how to do a quick pork butt. We're going to do a quick brisket, and we're going to do some chicken. Our Barbecue Champs Academy video shows you how to do competition chicken legs. We're going to show you how to do some leg quarters if you want to give those a try in a competition or in the backyard. Thanks for watching. Like us on YouTube. Our channel is Sweet Swine of Mine Distributing. Like us on Facebook and Instagram. Instagram, we're Sweet Swine of Mine. And on Facebook, just Mark Lambert or Sweet Swine of Mine Distributing. God bless you. Thanks for watching.